Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I'm doing a quick review on a safe that I've already done a tutorial video on. So if you're looking for that tutorial video, I'll post it down below. I've got it time stamped out, so if you need something specific, you can go ahead and click on that time and it'll take you exactly to that point. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. But I'm actually doing the product review of the Awesafe gun safe that can be found on Amazon, and I'll be sure to post the link of that down below as well. I've had this safe for about 10 months, and there's some things that I like and don't like, and I'll go ahead and dive into that here in a few seconds. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or questions, post them down below, and I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy. Alright everybody, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Like I said in the intro, this is the Awesafe gun safe. On Amazon there are two different sizes of this safe. This is the smaller of the two, but pretty much most of the things that I talk about with this safe I assume will apply with the larger one. So what I'm going to be doing today is three separate things. First I'm going to be talking about the general basics of this safe. Then I'll talk about what I like about the safe and what I don't like about the safe after using it over the past 10 months. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and talk about the general basics of the safe. The dimensions of this safe are 12.9 inches by 9.9 inches and is 3.2 inches tall. So it's about the size of a shoebox, but obviously the height is a little bit less than that. It is the perfect size to fit in a drawer, and it's not too heavy that if you drill it into a wall somewhere, it won't be ripping off the wall. There are some pre-drilled screws with this safe, so that makes life a little bit easier. The safe is made out of 18 gauge steel, so it is pretty durable, but it's not going to be a safe that is super protected against robbery. If a thief really wants to get into it, they probably will be able to. Prying off the sides here, they can work this safe out pretty well. This safe is more meant for keeping children out or keeping just random visitors away from firearms or personal belongings. Doesn't have to be firearms. So getting into the inner dimensions here, it is 9.7 inches by 6.7 inches, and there are, I think the height is 2.2 inches. So to give you guys perspective, I'll go ahead and put my firearm in here. This is a smaller firearm. It is the SIG P365. I'll put my extra clip in. I have it wrapped in a plastic bag. So that takes up about half the safe. So if you had another gun of a similar size, you would probably put that in there as well. But I also have a box of ammo with a dehumidifier, and that takes up about the size of this safe. So this safe does run at $130 on Amazon. Obviously the larger safe is a little bit more. It does take, which some people do not like, it does take batteries for this light and powering the piston here, as well as the keypad. I suggest, I haven't changed the battery out in 10 months, but probably every 12 months, maybe even earlier, switching out those batteries, because the last thing you want is to have this thing die on you. So I would just set a calendar reminder or some sort of reminder. That way you're regularly changing out these batteries. Another thing is this safe does come with a 1-year warranty, which is super nice. So if you have any malfunctions, you do have that peace of mind. So let's go ahead and talk about the good and the bad of this safe, in my opinion. So the good thing about this safe is there are 3 different ways you can enter this safe. You can use the key here, you can use a 4-digit passcode, or you can use your fingerprint. So, and you don't have to use all of them. You can just only set up a passcode or only set up a fingerprint. The other thing that I like about it is it feels like it's built very well. I mean, this is very thick steel, and it's not like it's just randomly going to open. I haven't had any instances of that, so it seems to be pretty reliable. Like I said before, it's not going to stop a very determined thief, but it is going to keep just people's fingers out, which is what I wanted it for. I really like the size of it too. It's small enough that it can fit in some really smaller spaces, and you can keep them out of people's eyes. It's not a giant safe, which are pretty easy to find. Another thing that I like about it is when you are opening it up in the dark, let's see if it shows up here. There is a little blue light here that does help you see things. If you have it jam-packed, obviously it's not going to be the most useful light because it is coming from one area, but that is a nice feature that this safe has. It does advertise a quiet opening. You guys can kind of see for yourself. It's relatively quiet, but it's not the greatest. So moving on here to the pre-drilled holes. So this is a convenient thing to have. A lot of safes have this, but they even have the pre-drilled out styrofoam portion of these holes, which is super convenient. So that is another plus. The one downside I do have with these little inserts here is that if you do have it screwed on, these things are so thick that they do kind of stay above the surface of the rest of the safe. So what I suggest, if you do screw it in somewhere, you can probably, cut this so that when you put it in, it does mash up with the rest of it and becomes flush with the rest of the surface. So that's one pain point that I'm not the biggest fan of as far as looks goes. But now we'll talk about two things that I think are important as far as a safety feature goes. So the first thing is, which you guys probably noticed when I tried to open this earlier, is if I put my finger on this slightly the wrong way, and it's not easy to do, but I've had it done before, it flashes red. And when it flashes red, you cannot open the safe with your fingerprint. So if I do a bad one now and I try to do it again, it won't let me open the safe. So you have to wait a few seconds. So it flashes red, and then I put my finger on and it flashes green. So there is a few second wait time that you have to do, which we all know a few seconds can really be important. With practice, you do get used to firmly pressing your finger on. And obviously, if that's a concern for you, you can use the passcode, and obviously the key takes a little bit longer, but that was probably my biggest gripe with this safe is if I have an intruder and I have a misprint of this, I have to wait a period of time before actually getting the safe open. That is my biggest concern. The second one, which I actually kind of showed you before, is if you close this but you don't slam it down, it does not, never actually seen that before, it does not close all the way. There's a halfway point that you think that the safe is closed, but it's not actually closed. Obviously, to fix that, you're just going to have to use force when you close it, and I haven't had any problems. One of my concerns is if it is half closed, is this light going to stay on the whole time and drain the batteries out? That actually is not a problem. The light does go off after a period of time of having it open, and this thing right here, when it closes, the light goes off. I guess another thing I should mention, which I cover in my tutorial video, is it is really easy to set up. There's some batteries back here and there's a button. And as long as you follow the steps that I've listed in my video and that come with the safe, it's pretty easy to add a new fingerprint or add a new touchpad code. So overall, I'm a pretty big fan There's obviously some security concerns with the thing that I mentioned, those two negative feedback items that I said. And if you're someone who really cares about that stuff, or doesn't like the fact that it has a battery, because batteries do fail, then definitely look somewhere else. Luckily, this does have a key, so if the battery does fail, you just need to make sure you know where the key is. Overall, I think for $130, it does a good job of keeping kids out or keeping random guests out, which is what I intended it for. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Like I said before, please comment if you have any questions, and like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. You guys take care.